Hello, welcome to the Real Estate Titans podcast. I'm your host, Frank Ray, here with my cohort in crime, Katie Lewis, in the house. We have a very special guest today. As always, we are going to be speaking with Miguel Garcia. Miguel, what's going on, my friend? How you doing?
Happening. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great. I'm gonna tee you up real quick, just so all of the new kids that are listening, who are tuning in, riveted to this podcast right now, to learn how you're doing so well. Miguel is with EXP Global Elite in Vacaville, California. You're one of the big guys there, right? You're like one of the the bosses or what? The leaders?
For sure. I'm one of the team leads for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the team leads over there. He's only been in the business 4 years. So for the new kids, this is someone to listen to, right? He's been at this a very short time. In the real estate world, 4 years is pretty young. It really is. He's got 20 deals closed in the past 12 months. He's tracking to have 30 closed this year in 2023. Definitely Titan status. So what do I got here? I think that's about it. But your goal is 36.
36
right?
For this year. That's it.
All right. And you're tracking along. So good news. We'll have to circle back around with you again later and see how you did, maybe the beginning of next year or something like that. But great numbers, Miguel, by the way, and congratulations on all your success. Katie will have to throw in the round of applause. The round of applause has officially been thrown in. Yes.
Hustling. Love it.
Love it. Hustler, as it were. So to get things moving along, we're just going to fire some questions at you and see what you got to say. And there's no wrong answer or anything. We're just very, very curious to see what you do, man, and how you're getting this done. So, Katie, go for it. What's the first question?
All right. Question number 1. What strategies have been most effective for you in generating leads and closing deals?
Most effective strategies. But first, I just want to say I'm so honored to be on this call with you guys. I appreciate the shout out. I appreciate you having me as a guest. It means a great deal to me, and to be able to help anybody that out there to get more business, because that's what it's all about, right? Getting more production, being more positive in not only in business but in your life in general. So that's what it's all about. So man, I'm very honored to be here. But as far as strategies go, man, strategy, what I hone in and really teach the team here in the Solano County area is get organic business.
Okay.
So a lot of people, they join a team. That team subscribes to Realtor.com, to Zillow, and they're giving up some of their commissions, right? And there's so much business out there that there is enough for everybody, right? So really, just organic business, doing the door knocking, cold calling, open houses. That really was my go-to early on, was door knocking.
Really?
Not door knocking, but open houses.
Okay.
Open houses along with door knocking. And the reason why is because, think about it, when is the last time a client walked into a realtor's office and said, hey, I'm looking to buy a house, or I'm looking to sell a home?
Never.
Pretty rare. I mean, it's been a long while since that was common practice. And even way back in the day, it really wasn't that common even.
Yeah, exactly. And now with internet, it just makes everything so easy, right? So where do these potential clients come in? Into open houses, right?
Totally true.
People that are hot and heavy, ready to go, or thinking that have been on the fence, but maybe just tipping their toes in the water. That's where you're going to find a big client pool, is straight up open houses.
Got you. Well, this is, Katie, right? This is pretty, I'm not going to say common amongst the Titans, but pretty regular, right? And especially, sorry?
Yeah, it's a trend. Open houses are definitely one of the top things that they mention when it comes to strategies. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also, just like you said, Miguel, the open houses are really, when it comes to, if you're newer, right, that type of thing, or you're struggling, that's where a lot, the Titans that we've had on here before have said, I cut my teeth on open houses, right? I got my start doing open houses, and it's exactly what you said. hey man, I'm sitting in the house and people are walking in because they're looking to buy one, right? I mean, or they're looking at maybe what's this going for, because what they might be thinking on selling or something like that. So absolutely brilliant. But what we typically ask our Titans who bring up the open house strategy is, can you give us any tips on how to do one effectively? We're not squandering it. Yeah.
You definitely want to be the coolest kid on the block, right? So I'm sure you guys have walked into an open house. It seems dead and no energy in the room, right? So get some music, get some little snacks that you can give out, and really bring the energy, right? And then the big thing, how do you get people to the open house?
Yeah.
Straight marketing it. And so what I do personally, I go out at 8 a.m. and I drop off my signs, and I have about 10 to 15 signs that I put out at any given time. And people are like, oh, that might be a lot. Well, are you trying to get people there or not, right? And that's why I drop them off early, because I want everybody to see my signs, my logo, my phone number on the corners of where I'm doing that open house sign, that open house, and for everybody to know where it's at. And then that'll drive traffic to that open house, right? If you have 20 signs, put 20 signs out. You want people there, get more signs out on the street, because that's the biggest thing. Because I've seen some where, the agent only has like 2 signs out, right, on the corners. Okay, if people are on Zillow looking at those at the open houses for the weekend, yeah, they're gonna know about it. But people driving around, they're really not gonna see the signs, right? So especially if the house is in a inside of a neighborhood, right?
Yeah,
so get many people the flow to that house. So put out tons of signs.
What else? I mean, so of course you're going to put it in the MLS, and that's going to translate, like you said, that'll translate over to Zillow and the other big aggregate, listing aggregators out there. Put all the signs out. Do you do anything else? Like, do you do social media stuff? Do you do newspaper? Do you do what? And how far in advance?
I haven't done newspaper in a long time.
Yeah. Do they even exist anymore? Yeah.
I used to sell my cars on newspapers, but that was a long time ago. Social media with my team specifically. There's about 45 of us, and when we have an open house, everybody's sharing that open house information. Because and a lot of, from what I've seen, a lot of agents are scarce as far as like, oh, don't share my listing. But I have a different audience than my business partners, right? 40 different of us. And if one of my business partners can bring me the deal, man, that's best for the team, right? Because we have a team culture here at the Global Elite team. And just we share listings, we get the word out there, and we drive traffic to those open houses, to the listings, to whatever event that we're hosting.
One last question on this too, because Katie, I don't know that we've really gone into detail on this with the others who have shared this, but okay, so we hold an open house, people are walking through, getting people to sign in and the follow-up process after that. So do you get them to sign in? If so, how do you get them to sign in? And then what's the follow-up look like? Because you can hold an open house as much as you want, but if you ain't following up on the people that walk through, you might as well, watch the ball game at home, because it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we actually have a class on that tomorrow. It's called lead conversion. So as far as the follow-up piece, you absolutely want to follow up with every lead that you get. I just followed up with somebody that I met 2 years ago at an open house. So the follow-up game, you have to be strong with that follow-up game, right? And so what I do, if you have a CRM system, definitely put them in your CRM system. Allow your CRM system to talk to them for you, right? I use KB Core. It automatically sends a text message saying, hey, thanks for coming to the open house. And then for the next 180 days, it'll follow up with them. So as my CRM is talking to that client, sending them houses to look at, reminding them that I'm a realtor and did you look at this list of houses? I'm also calling them. So I typically just ask when they come into the open house, say, hey, how's it going? Welcome in. Here's a flyer. Go ahead and sign in while you're there. And they'll sign in. Sometimes they don't, whatever. I don't press it. but I try to bring the value, especially if they're hesitant on signing in, right? How do you bring value? Oh, is this house what you were looking for? No. Well, maybe, then you start asking, what are you looking for? How big? Is this too small? Is this too big? What exactly are you looking for? And then, we have a whole list on the MLS on what we could provide to that client. Hey, I actually have 10 houses that fit your description. Do you mind if I send that to you?
Gotcha.
And then I'll call them back either the same day or the next day, asking them how did they like the house? Did they like it? Ask them the same questions. Was it too big? Was it too small? What are you looking for exactly? Hey, I'm going to send you a list of homes. So now you talk to them. Now you're talking to them that Sunday, Monday, whenever the open house is, the next day of the open house. And then I call them on that Wednesday and Friday.
Gotcha.
And then by Friday, hopefully I'm out shopping with them.
Yeah.
Name of the game, or talking to my lender, one of our lenders that we have. So
got you. Let me what was I just gonna say? Lost my train of thought. It was epic too. Too bad. Everyone's missing out on a really epic question right now.
If anybody's out there that is having trouble getting business, I know the earlier on this year, it's been hard, right? 40% business went away, 40%. And if you are needing business, open houses is definitely the way to go. My first 2 deals ever came from open houses. My last deal from 2022 came from an open house.
Yeah.
So,
it's good stuff. And I remember my epic question.
There it is. I gave you.
Unfortunately, it's not that epic. But what I was going to ask is, when you do open houses, do you always do just your own listings, or do you do other agents' listings?
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
So now that I'm listing heavy, I do my own. But if I don't have a listing, I don't mind doing somebody else's listing. I mean, that's where I started from, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do speak Spanish. So early on, I asked realtors in my brokerage, like, hey, whoever you aren't able to talk to that speaks Spanish, give them to me. I'll give you a referral fee. Like up front, ask for those leads that they're not working.
Yeah, love it. Cool. Great answer, man. Good strategy, solid strategy. And thanks for sharing about, the different ways you go about getting it going and your follow-up and all that kind of stuff. What else you got, Katie?
All right, question number 2. Do you have a niche that you use in your marketing?
Yeah, like I specialize in onion farms. That's me. I'm your onion farm.
We had a guy that specialized in dog kennels, right? Yeah. He was very super niche-y. So for you, what do you like?
I really don't have a niche, to be honest with you.
Okay, it's all good.
I'm old school. I'm about the grind, about getting out there and rolling up my sleeves and getting a little dirty, right? So
yeah. Does it have a roof? I'll sell it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and in this business, you can't really be scared, right? I mean, yes, there's some fear there. Am I doing it right? Did I write out the contract the correct way? Yeah. But once you get past that part, like, go all in. Like, get good at failing forward is what they say, right?
Yeah.
Fail forward and you will learn and grow. And as long as you're learning and growing, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
It's when you think you've learned it all is when you fail the hardest.
It's so true. I'm just curious. Have you ever dabbled in and we don't have to spend a lot of time on this answer, please. We got plenty of questions asked, but just out of curiosity, have you ever dabbled in any commercial at all or anything like that?
I would like to, not really. I haven't.
Not really. Yeah.
Led into commercial, but
if somebody came to you with an office building and said, "Hey, man, I need to sell this," you'd be the kind of guy that'd be like, "You got it. We'll sell that sucker," and then be like, Absolutely. "How do I sell a commercial office building?" Right. Right.
Exactly.
Google.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of our industry, right? We can sell anything with our license.
That's right. You can.
Yeah. And we can sell businesses. We can whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you have not had your first deal, or if you've gone through your first deal, that's exactly how it was. Like, oh shoot, they said yes. What do I do now?
Yeah.
Right? So man, just say yes to everything and
get her
learn.
done, and then lean on your mentors who have done this, right?
Yep.
Get the help to get it done. So
Absolutely.
awesome. Okay, no real niche. That's all good, man. It's all good. No big deal. What's up, Katie? What's
All right.
next?
What's your favorite marketing method or platform? Do you got a favorite?
So my favorite right now is Instagram. I highly promote and post a lot on Instagram. Miguel Garcia Realtor. That's where you can find me on Instagram, and that's really where I post everything. It posts to my Facebook and all the other channels. So
What do you post? Like, what are some of the things that you put there?
So I put motivational stuff. If you catch me every morning, I'll have something motivational, something to think about throughout the day. Deals that I'm working on, ins and outs. Like right now, I just came back from my listing. And so one thing to let your sellers know is do not turn off your water or electricity to the house if it's vacant, because that could cause other problems. So
That is true.
I just got back from my listing and the lady had turned off the water to the house. It had a fire sprinkler system in the house, and when they turned on the water, I think it triggered the fire sprinkler system, and there's water all over the floor. 2-story now. It's so that's just again, we're learning every day.
Yeah.
It's like Go, Katie. What?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the fun side of real estate.
Yeah,
Yes. Oh, got a listing. Oh, it's flooded. Yeah.
yeah.
Great.
So,
Yeah.
let's take it off the market for a little bit.
Wait, I didn't mention there's an indoor swimming pool?
Yeah, right.
Shame on me.
Yeah.
It's a little moist inside, but a lot of people like that. Yeah. So, wow. So cool, man. Cool. So Instagram. So that's the kind of stuff that you post. But usually, what I ask people too is like, Instagram's your favorite platform, but like, how do you get someone who's like watching you or following you on Instagram to go from being a follower to, I think I want to talk to Miguel? I mean, is your phone number on the images, or do they have to go to your profile or something?
I put my phone number on everything.
Oh, you do?
I scroll through people's pages and I want to reach out to an agent. Sometimes it's hard to find their information.
I know.
On social media. It's like, what are you guys thinking? Like every time I post something, it has my information, my website, and my phone number.
Perfect.
And then to DM me if anything, right?
There you go. Okay, I was curious about that, because I see that all the time too. Like, I'll see some marketing stuff on social, and there's really no way to engage.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's no clear, fast way to understand how to reach that person. So,
It's like a contact form. You have to like fill it out and then wait for someone to call you. What's the point of that?
Yeah, so
it's true.
Is whoever picks up the phone
instant.
first, right?
Yeah.
There's the stats too. It's like, and they're NAR stats. I know it is for the loan officer side. I think it's 79% of the people will do business with the first loan officer that they speak to. It's probably very similar for real estate too, which is, whoever gets to actually physically speak to the person first is probably going to win, right? So
that's like 70%, I think.
Yeah.
80%, I'm thinking the same. Yep.
Yeah. So really, really smart to have our phone numbers as real estate and mortgage people. We need to have our phone numbers visible. They need to be there because people want to talk about this stuff. Or text. Texting's fine too, as long as you call or text. Yep. At least they can start an intimate dialogue with somebody. Yeah. All right, Katie, what's the next question?
All right. Well, we might have already kind of went through this with your flooding, but the next question is, can you share a specific example of a challenging transaction you navigated successfully and what you learned from that experience?
Oh man, there's been so many.
It's always like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're all a little challenging. And
pick your favorite.
It's rare that they just go through like, well, that was absolutely flawless and no problems. There's always something we got to contend with. But is there a big one? Do you have one in your...
I think it was
huge.
I think it was last year, and it really was the other agent on the other side. So I was on the buy side. The listing agent, she was playing hardball, man. Like, we got into releasing contingencies and needing to close because my client was pregnant and we needed to close before her due date and before she had her kid, and it was at the end of the year, so the sellers weren't trying to leave, and then they were trying to push out the close date, and then we had to get lawyers involved, and
Wow.
it was tough. I thought it was gonna blow up, but she made it more difficult than what it needed to be, and she wasn't answering my calls, so I had to get her broker involved. Like, don't be afraid if you're having trouble speaking with the listing agent or buyer's agent. Don't hesitate to reach out to their broker, because man, sometimes that's all it takes to get them back in, right? Especially if you're doing everything right on your side, right?
Right.
Man, that's a big takeaway that I had from that experience.
Yeah, it's a good one. We hadn't heard that one, and you're right. If you're having difficulty with another agent, and it's not going well, and you're not getting feedback, to go to their broker.
Yeah.
That typically, if you go to the broker, that'll shake the tree pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I had another one. It was an outside lender that made things difficult.
Okay.
The lender was he was upset because I was shopping him with my lender.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to. My client ended up going with him, and then he had bug up his sleeve, and he just wasn't liking me, and he called me names and called me this and that, and I was like, man, dude, like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, that's my job, is to help my client get the best deal, and he just didn't like that, and he was hanging up the phone on me. Then he turned on the escrow lady. And then he turned on the listing agent. Like, it was pretty bad. And then I obviously reached out to his manager as well, and he definitely changed his tune with everybody and apologized for the way he was acting or whatnot. And really, when somebody's going through something, it may not be you, it may not be the transaction, it might be what's going on in their life. So
You don't know, right?
Just know that, just know that. Play ear of caution, but don't be sideswiped by their negativity at the same time.
Yeah, for us too, remember, sometimes we can get upset, right? Like, we, as a new agent or even experienced, just in our transaction, something may transpire with another agent or a lender or an escrow person or whatever, that's causing some sort of difficulty or stress. And just remember, there's a quote from a good friend of mine, Steve Kiles. He just says, you know what, man, just don't get bitter, just get better, right? Don't get bitter, get better. And, evaluate why you're there, why everything's going, getting all stressed out and everything, and go, how can I avoid this next time? What can I do to avoid it? And for that lender who is getting shopped, and if he lost his deal, you know what, in the loan business, I'm sorry, man, it's part of our business. It definitely happens. It's not fun. It's not fun when a real estate agent loses a full price commission deal to a discount broker. It ain't fun, right? It's not fun. And we have to just learn how to get better. Just get better at what we do. Yeah.
And really just being able to know, right, and this is what's helped me throughout those difficult times, is know that we are all the listing agent, buyer's agent, lender, escrow, we're all on the same team.
Yes.
The goal is to get this thing closed for
Yeah.
clients, right?
Exactly.
Buyer for the seller. And sometimes the other side might not have that same outlet.
It's true. We have our fiduciary, right? We have our responsibility, especially on the real estate side. You guys have your obligation to your seller or your obligation to your buyer. You're trying to represent them in the best light, negotiate on their behalf. But at the end of the day, it is like you said, Miguel, we're all on the same team. We all want to bring this to the finish line. Hey, look, ain't nobody getting paid, ain't nobody selling a house, ain't nobody moving into a house unless we all get to the finish line, right? So we're all trying to get there. As long as we can all work together, it's best.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, man. Good stuff, Miguel. Good stuff, man. And by the way, don't ever shop us, okay? That'll really irritate the living crap out of me.
No.
Like, I will go absolutely zonkers crazy on you. I'm not lying right now. Like, I will walk into your office.
No, the only way I shop is if my client, if they bring me a lender right outside,
There you go.
That's the only time I'm shopping. Right?
I'm messing with you, but thank you. Yes.
Whoever is the lender is going to be the lender to the whole thing.
I will come skidding into the parking lot.
Yeah.
No, I won't. Let's go. What's the next question, Katie?
All right. How do you stay organized and manage your time effectively?
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So you just wake up late, go to sleep late. I'm just kidding. Nah,
You're talking my language right now.
Yeah, right. This real estate's a perfect job.
Yeah. No, but seriously, what you want to do and what I found to be most effective is because when we get into the business, we typically bring our 9-to-5 mentality into the business.
True.
Getting up, 30 minutes before you got to clock in and not being prepared, then warming up 2 to 3 hours on the clock to get ready and then start working, right? That's typical. If you do that in this business, you're going to lose. Yeah. So what I found to be most effective is preparing the day before.
Okay.
So before I go to sleep every night, I literally write out hour by hour what I will be doing the next day. So I wake up at 5:30 to 6, get up, stretch, take my protein shake, hit the gym, come back, do a cold plunge, and then I get to work. Like by that time, I'm in work between 9 and 10. And don't forget to put your leisure time in there, right?
Yeah.
But I gotta take the kids to school at this time, or I gotta, have lunch at this time. I'm gonna be meeting with this person at this time. Drive time is this time. Like schedule out your day from whenever you're gonna begin to the time you're gonna end. And typically my day ends around 6 to 7, depending on the day.
Do you, it's interesting that you wake up, or I'm an early riser too, just so you know, I'm a 3:34 a.m. guy, and I just kind of naturally do that. And now I'm not drinking my protein shake and doing the cold plunge. I'm not doing that part. Right. Yeah. And going to the gym or anything like that. But I'm an early guy. And do you think, Miguel, that do you think it's important in this industry to start to become an early riser?
Yes and no. I know people that don't, but it's how you use that time when you're at work, right? Because if you do this job part-time, meaning you have a 10-hour day and you only really work 2 to 3 hours of the day, you're not getting much done, right?
Yeah.
So if you put in 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours of work time, if you literally do 40-hour work weeks and actually in the business, trying to get customers, calling people back, doing CMAs, all that, 40 hours, you're going to win huge.
Yeah.
Like literally, because I know agents that, all they do is just swipe and get lost in the social media world, or, wake up late, or, get sidetracked with needing to go get groceries, whatever that looks like. If you had a regular job, you wouldn't be able to do that, right? It's easy to go get some Starbucks. It's easy to show up to the office late. It's easy to do all that. But if you're disciplined in your time, you're going to win huge.
Let me ask you this. You said you kind of, you're wrapping things up around 6 p.m. Do you set any boundaries with your clients? Like, hey man, you're good to call me up until like 7 p.m. After that, man, if it can wait till morning, let's wait till morning, or do you not worry about that?
Not so much. Usually at 9, I stop responding back, and between like 8 and 9, I'll stop responding, depending on what it is, right? Because sometimes you do have to call and figure something out before the next day. Yeah. But typically 8 and 9, I'm not responding back, just because anything at that time could wait till the morning time.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, nothing's going to happen after 8 p.m.
Yeah.
We're not going to get the underwriter to answer something or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and it might be something that you're angry about, frustrated, and it'll give you time to think it through. Right?
True. Yeah,
not respond in a harsh tone, right?
Right. Yeah. Do you use what calendar? Are you a Google Calendar guy, or what?
No, I'm a piece of paper guy.
Really?
I have a notebook. I write my affirmations, then what I'm grateful for, and then from 5:30 to 7 at night, I'll write exactly what I'll be doing for that day.
You know who else did that, Katie? Leo Schrupp.
Yeah.
Remember Leo?
Spiral notebooks on top of spiral notebooks.
Stenopad.
Everything he did.
Yeah,
Everything.
It's a different thing when you type it in and you put it on the calendar versus actually writing it out. Like, there's more energy involved with it.
Okay. For you, that's what it is. Do you accumulate these pads too, like over time? Like Leo literally had boxes and boxes of steno pads. Like you could go through his whole life in steno pads, and he would write in there not only his appointments, but who he needed to call and phone numbers. But he would just have thoughts, and he'd be thinking of things that he would just write down his thoughts. You know, it was really interesting, and he was very organized. He knew everything that was going on.
Yep, absolutely. I have them from when I first started, because I picked that up maybe after the first 6 months. I picked that up because, you know, I was kind of all over the place trying to still figure things out, and that's what I found to be the one that kind of anchored everything down that I needed to do.
Interesting.
Because, you know, in this business, there's a lot to do, and we could get lost in the figuring it out and having to do it all, right?
Yeah.
We can delegate where we need to, like, actually return the phone calls, like put time and energy into those specific items, those, you know, 5-6 things per day, and you'll move the needle a lot faster.
Interesting. Good stuff. Good
Love
stuff. Right on. What's next?
What's your favorite technology gadget?
Yeah, besides Instagram.
Is that favorite?
Cell phone.
All right.
This is it. This is everything. So just that, and then I bought some mics, you know, to get better at, you know, the vocal piece of everything.
Yeah, like for video stuff. Do you do video stuff a lot?
Yeah. I need to do more, right?
Yeah. But you like video?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah.
I know that you said you do Instagram. Do you do TikTok at all?
Not really, actually. I need to hop back on. I closed it out just because whatever, but
I couldn't stand that thing. It drove me nuts.
But
I know a lot of people like it, and it is actually very useful. I understand that.
Yeah. No, I mean, to have another platform, it was just more time away.
Yeah,
so
it's
on Facebook and Instagram.
It's true. Like, you know, it's a good point, right, Katie? Like, he's got his thing. This is what he does. He does it good. He's got his following. You start to introduce another platform. Well, now you're kind of starting all over again on something. Not that there's anything wrong with TikTok. Trust me, I know mortgage people and real estate people that do very well with it. Like, they're good at it, and they've got it going on, you know. For me, it wasn't my thing, you know,
Yeah.
But gosh, you know, at my age, there's really nothing's my thing these days, you know.
You know how to use it. I don't know that he counts.
That's true. I probably don't count in that arena. But I'm like you, baby. Hey, Miguel, right here, baby. Cell phone. I'm good with that. Yeah.
I just honestly didn't want to put time into another, like, thing I needed to learn, right? Because there's so much other stuff that I still need to work on. So,
how many calls a day you make, you think?
Man, I need to do more. But when I first got started, I was spending like 2-3 hours a day, sometimes 4 or 5 hours a day, just calling.
Grinding.
Yep. Especially during COVID, man. Because when everything got shut down, that was kind of a blessing in disguise, and that's why I did so well 2020, because everything was shut down. All I had was people to talk to, right? Just, hey, how's it going?
What's up?
Yeah. We haven't talked to you in a while. How's it going?
Yeah.
Right?
Let's find you a...
So they picked up the phone call and talked for 20 minutes because they're sitting at home doing nothing to do, right?
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That must have been actually good for realtors during COVID. It's like, hey, so you're pretty sick of your house right now?
Yeah.
Pretty sick of that little place? We should sell it and buy another one.
Hey, are you thinking of getting a divorce after this?
Yeah, right. So you're pretty tired of that spouse about now?
Yeah. No, it was fun time. Because when agents were scared of going out, and I mean, I literally had my first daughter at that time, and I quit my job. I had a 6-figure job. I was a VP consumer banking, you know, managed a few different locations, had employees, and I was like, man, I'm tired of this corporate world. So then I pivoted into real estate, and I had literally just quit my job. And I was like, this is not going to stop me. I cannot go back to that. That's what I left.
Yeah.
Back. So I burned the boats and freaking set everything on fire and said, okay, what do I need to do? Talk to people. And that's what I did.
Good stuff. I
Awesome.
love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. What's next?
All right. Let's see. How do you stay top of mind with your database?
Well, first is calling them.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you call them?
I try to call them at least once a quarter, if not once every 6 months. Send a text, email, phone call, right? Any of that counts as a touch. I also send out my own personal magazine that I have created, and it'll send them about home stuff. And then that's pretty much it. I'm starting to incorporate more email marketing to my database. But I haven't fully jumped off the ledge there just yet. But just reaching out, that's the best way to keep in touch.
I think we have to back up and say, okay, magazine, what are you talking about? People are probably going to read, what do you mean your own person?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a magazine that I subscribe to that they put my picture and my information on, and they send it out every 2 months.
What's the content of that magazine? What's in it?
It's real estate content. It'll tell, and they have like recipes. It'll say like, get this stuff done for spring, this stuff for summer, this stuff for winter, stuff like that. And they have cool articles on like how to decorate your house and stuff like that.
How much
It's
is
all
that?
branded to you, right, Miguel?
Yeah, it's all branded to me.
What's that cost?
I have about 100 going out to my past clients, so it's like $400 or $500 every 2 months.
That's not so bad.
It's not bad at all. No.
Yeah.
It's a unique type of thing to send out too.
Oh yeah.
We haven't heard it from any of our Titans. I've heard about it because of other stuff that I do, but it's very unique and it's clean too. It's like it comes out, it's crisp and
Yep. Yeah, it's a real magazine.
Yeah.
It's a real magazine. So
That's the thing with the magazine too. It's not like with a magazine, you get that in the mail. It's not like you go, oh, magazine, throw it away.
yeah.
With a magazine, you kind of got to go, well, take a look at it. You put it somewhere and you flip through it, you look at it. I mean, it is a good idea. And it's not bad pricing for something like that as well.
And the best way to really like stand out is your how you deliver your keys, right? Especially for buyers or the sellers, really. Like how you are in that transaction, right? How are you standing out for future transactions? What are you doing this time around that's gonna help you get that referral from your clients, right? And I know you guys are big out on this, but asking your clients as you're going through the process for
Definitely.
Family and friends, right? Family and friends, and especially when you close, right? Hey, how did I always ask for feedback. How did I do? Anything I could have did better. And then most of the times I'll be like, no, but you might get that one jewel, like this is what I think you could have did better, right?
Yeah.
Take that, don't be offended. Take that and learn from it, run with it. Because that's how you grow in this business.
Don't get better, get better.
Yeah.
And then on the next client work with,
Might be a little better.
use that, right? So one thing that helped me was when a client said, hey, I don't want to work with you anymore. I was like, oh, wow. Okay, why? Oh, because you're texting me too much.
Really?
I want to have more phone conversations. So
Lesson learned from that would be what?
Ask questions, like how would you like to be communicated?
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
So that I learned from that is I always ask how they like to have the communication, and the reason why I was texting so much is because he was 3 hours away. So he was on the East Coast coming to the West Coast. So I figured, easier to text. So, but that was my bad, right? It's not him. That's not his fault. That's not the lender. No, that's me, right? Really owning it.
Super. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I love it.
All right.
What's left? What's left on the question?
What advice would you give to new or average producing agents looking to increase their success in the industry?
Man, follow my page. But no, really, what you can do is don't skip steps. And what I mean by that is, as we are newer agents, we're always looking to be a success, overnight success. Like it takes time to develop your craft. It takes time to learn the contract. It takes time to learn the prospecting. It takes time to run a business, because this is ultimately a business. And we wear all the hats of this business: the marketing, the customer service, the inspections, the everything that to run this real estate business. Do not skip steps. And if you keep hitting the wall with one particular thing, that means you haven't learned the step to get past that wall. So really, like, do not skip steps. Learn what you can. So when I had quit my job, it was like in April. I took all of May off to learn the business. Like, what do I say? How do I say it? How do I get clients? How do I do a contract? Like, I learned all those steps, and I didn't wait till I was perfect with all those topics, but I learned enough to get by, to have a good conversation with potential clients. And then I hit the ground running in June. Every weekend in June, I did Saturday, Sunday, open houses. And by the end of June, I picked up my first client, my first 2 clients, and then I started closing 2 deals in July, 2 deals in August, 2 deals in September. Like, I was closing deals, and that's how I was able to replace my $100,000 job in 6 months.
So good. And to come out of the chutes and closing 2 a month is just really difficult for a lot of people to do. So that's pretty cool. And I love the answer to that, man. What'd you say? You said, don't skip the steps? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Don't skip the steps. That's got to be the title of this podcast. I think that's a good one. And I like it. It's so funny you say that too, because I won't get into all the details, but I do multiple podcasts, right? This isn't the only podcast that I do, but I have another podcast that I do for the mortgage side of things. And the last podcast I did was that very item is, there's a process, and you can't, and I think I titled it like, it's better to start at the beginning. Like, don't try to start at the end, right? Because there's a process you have to go through to get there, and you can't skip it. It's something that's not skippable. Right? Wouldn't you agree, Miguel? It's not skippable.
There's a fee to success, and everybody pays to get to success, right? Some have it easier than others, or some pay $1, some pay $100, right? It depends on where you're at in your life and how much life experience you've had to bring into your business to help you get to your success. So when I was in the banking industry, I was reading books like religiously. I didn't watch too much TV. Like, I was reading books, and I used that as my playground to talk to clients, to
interesting,
to like how to connect with somebody, how do you get them to kind of walk them through that sales process. Like, I use that, and then that's how I brought that into real estate, and I think that's kind of what helped propel me forward, right? I was more mentally prepared. And this business is very mental, right? So if you have things going on in your personal life, it will definitely affect you in your business. So get that stuff right up front, right? Get that fixed. Whatever it is that you need to do, get that right so you could be successful at whatever it is that you want to do.
I got to ask you this. Give us our new kids, our first timers, a good book. What would you suggest?
Man, there's a couple. For my men out there, what is it? All right, I'm gonna pull it up.
Is it Women Are from Mars, Men Are from Venus?
No, not that. So, all right, for my business is Think and Grow Rich. That's an all-time favorite.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Napoleon Hill. Yeah.
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Dale Carnegie.
And The Power of Intention. Those 3 books were phenomenal for me. And then the one for my men out there, I'll tell you right now, it is The Way to the Superior Man.
The Way to the Superior Man.
That is a great for the men out there.
Awesome. Great suggestions. Super duper, man. Great answers. This has been really fun. What's left, Katie?
All right. I'm going to combine these 2 last ones. What areas are you currently serving, and what's the best way for someone considering buying or selling a home in these areas to reach you?
Okay, so I service all of Solano County, Napa, Solano, Napa County. So I'm all over the map. I go out to Sacramento sometimes and the East Bay. I have a few listings out there right now. So I'm pretty much all over the map, but my hub is Solano County. I have an office right here downtown Vacaville. And how people could reach out to me, you can reach out to me on my social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram, Miguel Garcia Realty or Realtor. Miguel Garcia.
Okay. How about the phone number?
Yeah.
Phone number is 707-803-8806. Call me if you need any help with your business or you got a question about anything in real estate. I'm here for you.
Awesome
Oh,
stuff.
I got a quick question. Are you guys currently looking for any other agents to grow your team?
Yeah, actually, we're not looking for just any agent. We're looking for agents that are hardworking, that have a winning attitude, and that want to learn this business. Because I know this business could be tough, but we have training events at least once a month, and we have mixers. So if you want the next invite to the next training, we have one tomorrow. It's the lead conversion, converting leads, and how to get good at converting those leads. Because we all know leads are easy. Leads are very easy to get, but it's the conversion that makes it work, right? That gets you paid. So if you want a future invite, reach out to me, DM me, or just give me a call. I'll give you the information.
Terrific. Terrific.
Awesome.
Great
Good
stuff.
job. Yeah.
Miguel, thanks so much for being on the Real Estate Titans podcast, man. It was great. Great answers, too. Good stuff. And I really am still stuck on, you can't skip the process, or however you said that. I'll go back and review it. But
Skip steps.
can't skip the steps, man. There's steps, and you got to take them. And it's so true. There was other things, too, that were really great in here that you brought up. I thought, wow, that's good stuff. So, but anyway, thanks so much for being on the podcast. We super appreciate it. And for those of you watching, if you happen to be a real estate agent, don't forget Katie and I were with Texana Bank. We lend in all 50 states. We have on-time closing, superior communication, and unprecedented follow-up. If you'd like to reach out to Katie or I, just call us at 707-220-1444. And with that, we'll go ahead and get on out of here. Miguel, a pleasure, my friend.
Appreciate you guys.
All right. You do well.
Awesome.
And for the rest of you, we'll catch you later here at the Real Estate Titans podcast. Adios. All right, Miguel, don't go anywhere. We got one more thing.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
Keep going.
We're going to tell you a joke.
All right.
Why was Cinderella so bad at soccer?
I don't know why.
She kept running away from the ball.
All right, Miguel, scale of 1 to 5. How good was that joke? And remember, Katie's bonus is relying upon it.
I'll say it's a 4.
A 4. You get a lot of 4s, Katie.
I was gonna say I've never gotten a 5.
You don't get 5s.
Everybody with customer service, like, yeah, you were close, but